So the cacao tree generally would be planted about 3 to 5 years. Is the first year of flowering, which is what we have here. As a cacao tree would generally go from planting from a little seed, it will start flowering. So this is a little flower that we would have on cacao trees, on Trinitarios. In about 3 to 5 years time, it starts producing what we call cacao pods. In the case of this is what we call a sheryl. It's just before the cacao pod. From here, this will be then ready in about 2 to 3 months. So generally, a cacao tree would produce flowers in about 3 to 5 years and will continue producing for about 75 to 100 years. Traditionally, for Mayan cultures in rituals, the first amount of flowers that the tree would have will be taking everything from the tree and will bury as what we call an earth deity ritual. So the next year of the fruiting trees will be then used for what we would consume in chocolate. Chocolate will be used for special rituals and burning into food offerings. We generally use a grinding stone that will be used to actually ground the cacao beans that has been generally processed. For us, generally, cacao and chocolate has been very, very important hundreds of years, 2,000 years ago. What we generally do is that some of our beans is we do ferment as well. Some of it is just generally sun-dried, roasted over fire for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then shell it and make chocolate. Most of our drinks that we do have is incorporated with cinnamon, maize, allspice, sweetened with honey, as of course a modern way of doing sugar. Cacao drink is basically served in what we call the calabash gourd that has generally been used hundreds or thousands of years ago by our ancient Mayans. So we as generally in Belize, cacao has been seen very important as well, even in although it is grown in South and Central America. So cacao trees is always very unique within the Mayan cultures. It still continues as we speak throughout Belize, which have three groups of Mayan culture. We have the Quechua, representing for myself, speak the language, Mopan, and Yucatec in Central America. So which indicated that our modern Mayan still relies on chocolate. Besides this, we also incorporate corn. So most of the time you would find that cacao trees and maize will be very unique within our culture, that we always bring these into reality as bringing it into our modern way of how we live. We know and we assume that we come from corn, so we always incorporate cacao and chocolate with our very important rituals and ceremonies. In the cases of birth, females have always been given 3 days before and 3 days after for stimulation of breast milk, which is adding chocolate into maize, adding allspices into it for stimulation of breast milk. So it's not just looking at the cacao tree, it is generally used for medication as well for most part of the Mayan culture. Few of the indigenous trees in Belize we have as allspice that we generally incorporate in our chocolate drink and festivities is allspice that falls under the myrtle family. Allspice is fruiting as we speak. It has small little berries. The berries is what we actually use in our traditional chocolate drink. The leaf smells like cinnamon, allspice, cloves. So it's generally we use throughout our rituals and ceremonies. We also use the leaf, boil the leaf for digestives, for internal problems. So the leaf generally gives you a mint flavor, a minty taste. It is indigenously found in South and Central America. In Belize alone, it's almost in every Mayan farm. So roasted cacao beans is roasted for about 45 minutes to an hour on a low fire. From home, we bring it and shell the beans. Shelling the beans, this is what then we have what we call from bean to bar. So generally, cacao beans or the paste is what we do is making the chocolate drink. It ground on the stone. Traditionally, the authentic way of making anything of seed and grain has been done on the volcanic stone that was basically bartered or traded from the highlands of Mexico or Guatemala to get these stones here. So the ancient Mayan civilization, like in Belize, had generally ground chocolate or cacao beans on the stone. Grinding it takes about 5 to 10 minutes or even 15 minutes, and generally on using the what we call the metate and the mano. So grinding it into what we call the from nibs, it goes into the what we call the chocolate paste. So the chocolate then is what we traditionally serve is hot water and chocolate. 3 times a day, rain or shine, that we have been consuming chocolate right throughout. So we then give an option of adding pepper to the chocolate. We also do like traditional ways of adding maize into chocolate. We sweeten with honey and sugar.
So this right now is very bitter, right?
It's bitter in its bitter form, and that's what the beans is known to have. The bitter part of it is the rich part of the cacao bean, which is rich in antioxidants, in calcium, in iron, in folate. So that's the medical part the cacao beans do have. But in our modern society, what we do here, we stick to the tradition of hot chocolate with chocolate, a paste of chocolate and pepper, 3 times a day. That was the way how we consume it. Of course, yes, chili pepper we add to it as well. We only use chili peppers for special festivities and for special rituals. It's not all the time. Generally, we would find that we would add the maize as well to chocolate, which is a very unique drink, a traditional drink that is mostly during delivery and of babies, mostly for women. So what we generally do, we serve into calabash. The calabash, what we have as the chocolate drink. This is water and chocolate. There's no sugar. This is without. All we have here is just the chocolate and the water, warm water. So generally, after it's ground, this is how it looks.
We had a great time touring the jungle, seeing how they cultivate the cacao beans and how they make it into chocolate. They have a lot to offer in means of information about the Mayan culture and how the chocolate kind of has to do a lot with the Mayan culture and all the nutrition values that chocolate has in day-to-day lives even today. And we also get to eat chocolate, which is nice.
Always nice.
Sinjola se champi cacao kiche ay gongko naga jo kadalam jebang kel khajuam jebang chocolate solbalem Christian and terach now chocolate. Baya is a AJAW Chocolate. We grew up in the cacao farm in southern Belize. Now here we are making our chocolate for traditional culture for anybody to come and learn to see in Belize, San Ignacio, AJAW Chocolate.